Jim, let's get going with the email question of the week. This one came in, and it has a little football side to it, so we're like, look, we got to have this one with football season coming in hot and heavy here in just a little bit. Derek wrote he had a serious car accident last week, and his neck and his back are in serious pain. But I had a neck injury from football 22 years ago. No problem since then. Will the insurance company try to say this is a pre-existing condition and not cover it? How do I handle this? Derek, great question. Jim, you know back and neck injuries backwards and forward. What are your thoughts here?
Well, short answer is the insurance company will probably try to say that it's a pre-existing injury. You've got a lot of things that weigh in your favor, though. If you've been 22 years ago, you've not had any significant limitations by a doctor, you've not had any ongoing treatment or problems, then you're ahead of the game. And the other thing that people don't realize, like people come to me all the time and say, well, I was hurt before, or they're going to claim it's pre-existing and then they don't have to cover. Just because an insurance company says it's pre-existing doesn't mean it's pre-existing.
Okay.
The doctors make that determination.
Right.
So in the law has a concept that says you accept your plaintiff as you find them.
Okay.
If you injure someone because you're negligent or irresponsible, then you're responsible for the injury that you cause, and that includes making a pre-existing injury worse.
Right.
So people that have been hurt, say you have a neck injury like this gentleman here from a long time ago, even if it was an ongoing injury, if a doctor says this accident exacerbated and made worse this particular injury, then you're entitled to recover for that amount. So it gets very complicated very quick.
Right.
Promise you they're going to claim it's pre-existing if it's a serious injury. You're going to need a lawyer to help you fight this and sort this out. And a lawyer has to work with your medical providers to make sure you get the proper testimony to support your claim.
So you're telling Derek if they find out about this football injury from 22 years ago, they're going to try to use it.
They'll try to use it to either not pay the claim at all,
right,
or if they pay the claim, reduce drastically what they say they owe, because they'll say, well, you were hurt before and we're not responsible for that. Technically true, but they're responsible if they made that injury worse. And if that injury had been healed completely for 20 years, and now he's having a problem, we're talking about a new injury. But you're not going to get anywhere arguing with an adjuster for an insurance company about that. You're going to have to get a lawyer. You're going to need to go have your lawyer. We need to meet with your medical providers, your doctors, get affidavits and testimony that this is a separate injury, or if it was an ongoing previous injury, that this made it much worse.
Jim, let me ask you this. All right, I broke my arm first day, first grade. I was at St. Dominic's, fell.
Rough first school.
Right, it was and never really got better after that, honestly. How much do you have to disclose with a pre-existing medical condition? So I broke my right arm in first grade. If I get into a car accident, am I obligated to tell them about that?
Well, the short answer is probably. Okay.
Really?
So what they're entitled to know is, because you're making a claim you're injured in this particular instance, not some other, they're entitled, you basically, by putting that issue before the court, you waive your medical privilege for any condition you put at issue. So if you were to have a car accident tomorrow and you broke your arm, they would request and probably get your medical records for the past 10 years, probably not all the way back to first grade, but they may get it for 8 to 10 years, some reasonable period of time where they could have a right to investigate the claim and make sure you're not getting a double recovery for something that you've recovered for before.
That makes sense. I kept that cast for a long time. It was that old wet one, like that was like almost like paper mache.
They were rough.
Oh yeah, those were. They don't use those anymore. They don't use those anymore. Great question, Derek. Really do appreciate it. It sounds like you might need an attorney if that's the way the insurance company is going to go with you. Just keep that in mind. What Jim said. If you ever want to send us an email question, it's so easy. Just go rmlawcall.com. Go to Google, pick up the boys' website page. It's got a ton of different ways you can email us in the questions. We try to look at them every week, try to find a good one that works for the show. And it just worked out for Ask Us Anything. It worked out perfect on that one.